We often spend our time trying to avoid solitude, and we do this out of fear that it may lead to our loneliness. And while this may be the case in a sense, it also means that we deprive ourselves of learning the true beauty of solitude. Solitude is defined as a state of being alone or secluded, which is eerily similar to how loneliness is defined, since a component of loneliness is being or feeling secluded. And so, we tend to associate being in solitude with feeling lonely, as our mind is programmed to unconsciously form these links between concepts based off our experiences. Therefore, leading to this conclusion, as we tend to feel loneliness at the most when we are secluded with no external stimulation or task to occupy our mind. So, in order for us to be able to experience and benefit from solitude, we must uncondition how our mind perceives loneliness by removing the link we have created between being alone and feeling lonely. The problem most people have when encountered with loneliness is they will attempt to prevent the feeling by producing some artificial task or stimulus to remove themselves from a state of solitude, as they believe in doing so it removes the risk of feeling lonely, which it very well may. However, by doing this, it reaffirms to our mind that being in a state of solitude is the cause for our loneliness. And so, when whatever task or stimulus we had set for ourselves runs its course or stops being effective in distracting us from the solitude and from the lonely feelings, then the feelings of loneliness come back more potent and worse than they were before. And so, we find ourselves becoming addicted to this vicious cycle of constantly running from our loneliness by chasing new external stimulus in an attempt to reduce that feeling of loneliness, in the same way an addict would chase the next high. And so, we end up neglecting ourselves from the time to introspect and create a healthy independence and secure relationship with ourselves. There's this quote that goes along the lines of, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. And I think this aligns perfectly with how I believe loneliness should be dealt with so that we may enjoy the benefits of solitude. If we were all only to take the time to be alone and feel these lonely feelings and let us feel lonely, we would all eventually be able to diagnose why we feel this loneliness. And I'm confident in the belief that for the majority of us, loneliness stems from our lack of gratitude. We lack appreciation in the time we have for others, and subsequently the time we get to spend around others. And so, in conclusion, if we are to learn to be more grateful for the time we get to spend in solitude, instead of fearing that it may cause the downfall of how we feel by loneliness, then and only then can we truly learn to benefit from the beauty that is solitude. Because being alone is a wonderful thing, but only if you can learn to see it.